Every few years, a teenager emerges from an academy and makes you do a double take. Not because they're flashy, not because they're scoring goals from halfway, but because they look calm, composed, like they've been playing senior football for a decade, not just a handful of matches. AYDEN is that player. At just 19 years old, the Manchester United left-sided center-back has already shown he belongs. And under Michael Carrick, one of the most intelligent midfielders of his generation, AYDEN is being molded into something special. 88 to 89% pass accuracy, recovery speed to defend a high line, aerial dominance, and a mentality that coaches describe as a lion. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly why AYDEN fits Carrick's system perfectly and why Manchester United fans should be very, very excited. Let's go. The Carrick connection, why this system fits. Before we talk about AYDEN's attributes, we have to understand the manager. Michael Carrick was one of the most intelligent midfielders of the Premier League era. He wasn't fast, he wasn't physical, but he was always in the right position. He never panicked, and his passing was surgical. Now, as a manager, Carrick wants his center-backs to play the same way. Possession-based, composed under pressure, comfortable inviting opponents to press, and then passing right through them. AYDEN is the perfect fit. At 19, he already understands that a center-back's first job is not just to defend, it's to start attacks, to break lines with a single pass, to make the team braver from the back. Key takeaway for young defenders: the best center-backs today aren't just destroyers, they're builders. Carrick knows this. AYDEN is proving it. Ball progression and composure, the 88% pass accuracy. The first and most obvious attribute in AYDEN's game is his composure on the ball. Let me put it simply. Most 19-year-old center-backs panic when a forward runs at them. They smash it long. They pass backward. They hide. AYDEN does the opposite. He invites pressure. He waits. He lets the attacker commit, and then he plays through them. His pass accuracy regularly sits at 88 to 89%. But that number doesn't tell the full story, because he's not just completing safe sideways passes. He's playing line-breaking passes, the kind that split midfield lines and put his team on the attack. Practical takeaway for young defenders. You want to build this composure? Drill this every session. Receive the ball with your back to a pressing forward. Take a touch to set it. Scan. Then play a pass between two cones that represent the opponent's midfield line. Do this 50 times per session. AYDEN does it until it's automatic. Recovery speed and athleticism, defending the high line. The second piece of AYDEN's game is his recovery speed. Here's the thing about playing a high defensive line. If your center backs are slow, you get slaughtered on counterattacks. AYDEN is not slow. His athleticism allows Manchester United to push higher up the pitch, compress the game, and suffocate opponents. Because they know, if a striker gets in behind, AYDEN has the pace to recover. Watch him in wide channels, particularly when the left back has pushed forward. AYDEN drifts left, covers the space, and uses his long stride to close down wingers in 1v1 situations. Practical drill, the recovery sprint. Set up two cones 30 meters apart. Start at the first cone, facing away from the second. On a partner's whistle, turn and sprint to the second cone, simulating a recovery run after being beaten. Do this 10 times with 30-second rests. Your goal is to shave time off every single rep. AYDEN's recovery speed isn't magic. It's repeated effort, aerial and dual dominance, the Chelsea clean sheet. Let me give you a specific example. In a match against Chelsea, at 19 years old, AYDEN kept a clean sheet. Not just any clean sheet. He won 100% of his aerial duels, 100% of his tackles. He didn't lose a single physical battle all match. That is almost unheard of for a teenager against Premier League forwards. How does he do it? Timing and bravery. He jumps early. He uses his arms to create space, legally, and he attacks the ball like it belongs to him. Practical drill, the aerial duel ladder. With a partner, stand 5 meters apart. Throw the ball high between you. Your job, attack it at the highest point, using your body to shield your opponent. Do this 20 times, then switch. The key is not just heading the ball, it's winning the space before the ball arrives. AYDEN does this instinctively. The lion mentality, fearless and commanding. Now let's talk about something you can't teach, but you can develop. Mentality. Scouts and coaches use the same word to describe AYDEN, lion. not because he roars, but because he's fearless. He commands the back line at 19 years old, telling players 5 or 6 years older where to stand. He makes mistakes, sure, but he doesn't shrink. He demands the ball again. Under Carrick and defensive coach Jonathan Woodgate, a world-class defender himself, Heaven is fine-tuning his decision-making. But the foundation? That internal belief, that was always there. Practical takeaway for young defenders. In your next match, do this. Every time the opposition has a corner or free kick, you organize the wall. You assign man-marking duties. You be the voice, even if you're the youngest player on your team. That's what Heaven does. That's what Lions do. The future, what comes next for AYDEN Heaven? So what's next for AYDEN Heaven? At 19, he's already training with the first team, already keeping clean sheets against Chelsea, already fitting perfectly into Michael Carrick's possession-based system. But here's the most exciting part. Carrick and his staff are protecting him, giving him minutes carefully, letting him grow without burning out. He's had one-on-one sessions with Jonathan Woodgate to fine-tune his defensive decision-making. He's learning when to step, when to drop, when to press, and when to simply stay. In 3 years, he could be Manchester United's starting left-sided center back. In 5, he could be in the conversation for England. But right now, at 19 years old, AYDEN Heaven is simply proving something important. That composure, intelligence, and a Lions mentality can take you further than raw physicality ever will. He's not the finished product. Not yet. But he's on his way. AYDEN Heaven, 19 years old. 88% pass accuracy. Recovery speed. Aerial dominance. And a Lions heart. Michael Carrick is building something special. And Heaven is at the center of it. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit subscribe at Football Dynamics. Comment below, which young defender should I break down next? See you in the next one.